Well, we're out here at beautiful Port Fourchon, getting ready to go out with CCA and Chevron and Danos and the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries to build the brand new Pelican Island Reef. Pelican Island was a historic old oyster reef and island complex that has been degraded over the years, and we worked with some local fishermen to find this historic old fishing spot, and now we're going to go out and make a brand new reef out of it today. Some members of CCA and some local fishermen identified this spot as a place that was historically a great place to go fishing, great habitat for marine life here in this area. But again, it's been degraded over the years, and so CCA and our partners started working more than a year ago to identify the spot, find material, find partners like Chevron and Danos to work with us on this, go out and do the survey work, get the permits done, and today is sort of the culmination of all that work. We're going to go build the actual project.
Well, this is actually artificial reef number 49 for CCA Louisiana in partnership with the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries and all of our industry partners. And this is critically important for our habitat because we're losing our coastline here in Louisiana, and along with that coast, our habitat is disappearing. And if we don't have habitat, we're not going to have fish anymore. So this is critically important for the sportsman's paradise to maintain our fisheries so that our children and grandchildren can enjoy the same resources that we have during our lifetime. Artificial reefs replace hard bottom structure, and that's the attachment point needed for marine organisms to start the food chain. We've lost a lot of our natural oyster reefs due to erosion and subsidence. We've also lost a lot of man-made structures in the oil platforms and other structures that have been removed. So replacing this hard habitat structure that the marine organisms can have for an attachment point is the beginning of that food chain, and that is critical for our fisheries so that we can continue to enjoy them. The fish love it. They move in almost immediately because the construction of these creates differences in the bottom, and when the currents go over it, it creates eddies. The bait fish congregate there, and it just creates a great home for the fish to go to, and also a destination for the anglers, because we have all of these mapped on our website. So anybody wanting to see the reefs can go to ccalouisiana.com, click on our Habitat tab, and look at our artificial reefs across the state from Slidell to Lake Charles. 49 of them, counting the one today.
We are in Timbalier Bay, right near Castad Island. We are building a new artificial reef called Pelican Island. We're dropping 340 what we call Cajun coral units created by our friends over at Danos and Chevron and Wildlife and Fisheries that are helping us put them in the water. It will be an incredible artificial reef that is designed to harness not only the tide, but the movement of our water to make sure we are building incredible fish habitat. So what's behind me are the Cajun coral units. Our friends at Danos and Natrix built this product. It's 3D printed concrete, and we made it to the specifications of what we could do under a permit to build this artificial reef. So it's the right dimensions, the right size, and it also has enough nooks and crannies and everything where other organisms can attach to it. So this is the first of its kind in shallow water, and we are incredibly excited to show off not only this product, but start its implementation here on the coast.
We're doing something special here today where we're actually installing 3D printed Cajun coral that's manufactured right here in Louisiana to restore the Pelican Island Reef location. This process is all being done right here locally, and we're able to create the perfect type of a product to be able to attract targeted species like speckled trout and redfish.
How do you 3D something that is solid concrete?
It's a really neat process. It's actually called dry forming, where you have a box full of sand and Portland, and we actually inject water into that box through a bunch of carbon fiber needles. And we simply just control the flow of water and then the rate of flow as well to help us articulate the designs. So these products that we're installing out here today, they're 3 foot long, they're 18 inches tall, and there's a lot of different structure to the top of them to create additional surface area. So one of these little bitty modules actually creates 19 square foot of surface area for habitat creation out there on the water.
What potential does this technology have?
There's potential in this technology is everywhere. You know, artificial reefs is a big focus for us. We know we can create a lot of surface habitat with these products. We can restore previous islands like we're doing today, but then also from a coastal restoration standpoint and stopping erosion. You know, right here behind us is an area where we're actually going to be able to install these units and help protect some marshlands and continue to try and protect the little bit of marsh that we have left these days.
We're in about 6 feet of water. The main species will be trout and redfish, but you will have sheepshead and croaker, you name it. If it is an inland species, they're going to attach to these kind of places. The whole operation will be built in about 3 days, and then once it's in the water, it is amazing how fast the marine life will find it. It might be a matter of days, if not weeks, and then there will be a plethora of marine life living on it.
Well, this is a project I'm really excited about. We don't usually get to use things like these purpose-built reef modules, something that's built specifically for this area in the shallow waters of Louisiana. This is a unique opportunity that Danos and CCA came to us with, where they can build a module that will fit in these shallower waters. And so we were really excited about this project. I think our main species that we're going to be attracting is speckled trout. And the way we've got this reef designed is so that the reef modules are actually going to be sort of across the tidal current. We're in a tidal pass right here. And so that current's going to create upflow that's going to kind of concentrate the bait fish, and that'll attract the trout, which will, of course, attract the fishermen. In Louisiana, we don't have a lot of natural reef left, and to the extent that the artificial reef program is able to address that, that's just really, it's a great thing for our coast, it's a great thing for our anglers, it's a great thing for our state.
So Chevron has been partners with CCA for more than a decade. We have done 14 artificial reefs so far, more to come, and today Pelican Island will be number 15. Chevron is so proud to partner with CCA because they are the coastal conservation experts, and so they're the ones that know the science and the thought into putting these artificial reefs in the right place to increase biodiversity and attract various and a variety of types of fish. So Chevron is just so proud. It's all these partnerships that make these sort of projects work, and we're just proud to be here. The installation of this new Cajun coral that we're partnering with Danos on is amazing. This is such a great innovation and will be hopefully this amazing positive impact for more artificial reefs to come.
We're in between the Bay Racketsy and Timbalier Bay, which is what is called Timbalier Bay, and it's all been eroded as we discussed. Why we're adding this particular reef here is because there used to be a lot more land mass all around us that basically was a great habitat for trout fishing and red fishing and anything else around it. But as you can look around, you just seems like we're in the Gulf of Mexico right here because it's just no land for miles. And these reefs are going to help us as fishermen just locate more fish in places that we don't have to run over the top of to go find land masses that are disappearing. And as I told him earlier, we're losing more land than we're putting reefs down. So the more we can get these down on the bottom of the water, the better off we'll be in the fishery in the long run. I've been guiding for about 35 years, and we light tackle trout and red fishing. So in the summer months, I pretty much live these waters on a daily basis, trying to find speckled trout for clients to put them on an enjoyable day of fishing. And without any land or any kind of structure to go to, it just makes it more and more difficult to find these fish that these customers want. We're about to dock, so give it a second. These artificial reefs, which are man-made stuff, are going to help us in the long run to just locate fish a little easier for clients, and like I said, give them a better day of fishing, a more pleasurable day of fishing than more of a boat ride that they get right now from running from island to island. That's few and far between. I lost a little more land than you can imagine. I mean, here in this area alone, I would probably guess that you lost somewhere around 100 miles of land, and just this bay, these 3 bays that join right here, that's just disappeared in the last 30 plus years. I mean, there were literally islands all around. There's closed in little pockets. You can go and find shelter when windy days like this here and get yourself into in the summer months, especially to catch trout. But there's no protection here. It's all gone. I mean, this particular island we're working on wasn't very big when I started guiding, but it didn't take long to disappear either. And when at that point, primary fish that most anglers are going to look for on this reef is going to be speckled trout. I mean, they will catch other fish all over it, of course, but trout's the primary species that everybody's looking for. And we didn't really lose them. We're just losing them places for them to locate themselves to feed off of. Because like any fish, they want to find some kind of structure to habitat to find their own prey, whether it be a shrimp that trout chasing or any other kind of larvae around it. So it needs to go through. They're pulling us across the boats from right now, so we're going to have to jump boats. But yeah, that's what this reef's going to help. It's going to help all the whole entire ecosystem come back together and keep itself in a location that we can locate and fish off of.
Here at Port Fourchon at the end of LA1 and Bayou Lafourche, we do a lot of things for our community. Where actually our board members are elected by our community, so they're tasked with trying to create jobs in industry as well as protecting our environment. So we have a lot of environmental projects we do on our own, help out CCA and other groups whenever we can to do any kind of environmental projects or protection projects, as we would say. If you look directly behind me, you'll see some fresh levees. We're doing some dredging and actually rebuilding some wetlands on the perimeters of our port, which is something we do typically in all of our dredge projects. We have breakwaters, barge breakwaters in the front of Port Fourchon, as well as the old jetties that are premier fishing areas. So these reef projects, in the bays and along coastal Louisiana really help bring in fish, help the fishing, as well as the environment itself. So it just starts and keeps that ecosystem going to let recreational people enjoy it. This artificial reef, you'll start with the bait fish, and then you'll end up with speckled trout, redfish, sheephead, a variety of fish, sporting fish that people love to catch. And then we here in Louisiana, we also like to enjoy and eat them ourselves. So it does bring a lot of fish in and a lot of recreational fishermen here. We actually own an airport 11 miles in, so we actually have people that fly in from Tennessee that own camps in Point Fourchon and in Grand Isle, so it brings people from all over the states.
The Water Institute is a nonprofit independent applied research organization headquartered here in Louisiana, and we have been working for several years in this Port Fourchon area through a program that we call the Partnership for Our Working Coast, which is a joint public-private partnership that advances research efforts around our working coast in Louisiana. We're now entering the third phase of this Partnership of Our Working Coast, and we are working with Shell and Chevron and the Greater Lafourche Port Commission to build the Nature-Based Solutions Living Lab. And what we're trying to do with the Nature-Based Solutions Living Lab is to try and elevate the research and understanding and education around the various nature-based solutions and modifications to the landscape here in the Greater Lafourche area and around coastal Louisiana, to try and elevate how those things like artificial reefs and terracing projects that Ducks Unlimited and folks build, how those things help protect and sustain our way of life in coastal Louisiana.
Chevron, for instance, and we're a couple of dozen reefs into our partnership with Chevron at this point, and so they've put up the seed dollars to make these projects possible. The Department of Wildlife and Fisheries has the Artificial Reef Trust Fund, who matches the dollars that we, CCA, and our partners bring to these projects, and so it automatically doubles the size and scope of the projects we can do. Then you bring on a partner like a Danos, who is bringing both the construction work and giving us some in-kind donation as part of that construction work, but also bringing the material. We're using a very special 3D printed reef material called Cajun coral today, and so you add up the combined efforts of all of these partners, and it's really what it takes to get a project like this done. Without any of them, we wouldn't be here today.
What CCA and the Danos and Natrix team are doing is fantastic, right? This is an all hands on deck challenge for coastal Louisiana and for the country, right? We can't just sit back and wait for one state or federal agency to navigate this. So it's super exciting to see groups like CCA and Chevron and Danos and Natrix really put some muscle into this to try and not only protect the land and conserve the land here in Louisiana, but also protect our way of life, which is we are a working coast. We live, we work, and we play out here in coastal Louisiana.
It's important that sportsmen and conservationists like us join organizations such as CCA so that we can band together and multiply our forces, and we can accomplish great things like this. Because it's through numbers that you get things done, whether it's advocacy for good fisheries regulations and laws, or if it's creating habitat and getting sponsors to back your efforts. So please join CCA and help us. We need all the members we can get. And go to our website, ccalouisiana.com.
CCA Louisiana is a membership organization. We've got more than 20,000 members in the state of Louisiana and 150,000 members across the United States. And it's really simple. For $40, you can be a member of CCA. You go to ccalouisiana.com, you click on Become a Member, and within a few minutes you are a member of CCA. Of course, you can join our Star Tournament, which is a fun way to sort of to use your membership as well, from Labor Day to Memorial Day, a fishing tournament that involves all comers, men, women, adults, children, everybody that would like to participate. But all of it is in an effort to enhance our habitat and advocacy work for Louisiana's fisheries.
How can people get more information?
CCALouisiana.com. You can call our office at 225-952-9200. Become a member, learn more about what we're out here doing, and perhaps you can be part of the next one.